guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I want to talk about how to be the most interesting person in the room. If you're interested in a video like that, please keep watching. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I want to talk about how to be the most interesting person in the room. I know how important it is to be interesting because especially when you're networking, when you are trying to meet someone new, it is important. We oftentimes compete with other people trying to be the most beautiful person in the room, trying to be the most well-dressed person in the room, trying to be the best in the room. But interesting trumps all of those things. Interesting trumps dressing and your looks and all of those things, all of the physical attributes. Interesting trumps all of those things. And so that's what I want to talk about in this video, is how to be the most interesting person in the room. If you do not know who I am, my name is Amber Turner. I'm the author of You Choose Your Outfit, with outfit being the metaphor of your reality and experience. I am also the CEO of the Censored Apparel brand, and we believe in being bold, being loud, and being confident. And in this video, I want to talk about interesting. Now, in a prior life, in my past occupations, I was actually the state director of a national pageant. I also used to be a matchmaker, which I don't often talk about because it was a short period of my time, but it was really, really interesting matchmaking and learning about love and charisma and all those things. And I know the importance of being the most interesting person in the room and having charisma, and how that can help you in life and every aspect of your life, whether it's doing business, whether you're trying to find love or trying to get your group back or things like that. And so I know personally, especially at this stage of my life, and I'm going through a huge transition of having to put myself out there again and relearn these things of being charismatic and relating to other people. And I know personally, especially being a state director. Hey sweetie.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
And so I don't know where I left off, but one of the things that I learned, especially being a state director, is charisma. And honestly, a lot of people, when it comes to pageants, think that it's based off of looks. And it really isn't. It's really mainly based off your charisma and how interesting you are. Interesting has a huge impact on your relationships and business and just meeting new people. And so that's what I want to talk about in this video. And I know like, especially like with matchmaking, that was always interesting. It was never the people that were the best looking that ended up with dates, because I used to do speed dating events, and it was never the people that were the best looking that ended up with dates. It was the people that were most interesting, and interesting will take you a long way. And at the end of the day, you want to be with someone that's interesting. You want to be with someone that is funny and charismatic, that can make you laugh and you have a great time with. And that's why being the most interesting person in the room is so important. Like I said, it trumps aesthetics, it trumps what you're wearing, it trumps everything. Being the most interesting person in the room is so important. And so the first point that I want to make in this video on how you can be the most interesting person in the room is to smile and laugh. Now, I can't tell you how many times I've been at a pageant. You would think at a pageant you would smile, right? Some people have a hard time smiling and laughing. And even when it came to matchmaking, like, smiling would go such a long way. I know, and I see this a lot. Like, people, because maybe it's nerves, but I know, like, for me, when I'm nervous, I laugh. So if you get nervous, don't do the resting face. Smile and laugh. That will go a long way because it's inviting. You're inviting people to talk to you. And that's, at the end of the day, what we want. We want people to know that we are funny, that we like to laugh, like we have a good time, or at least think that. Even if that's not the case, we want people to think that. But smiling and laughing will go such a long way when it comes to being the most interesting person in the room. Now, if you go into a room and you surveillance the room, what do you notice? You notice people that are smiling, you notice people that are laughing, and you notice people that are having a good time. So smile and mean it, and laugh and have a good time, relax. It will go a long, long way. And so the second point that I want to make in this video is confidence. And confidence, obviously, just like a smile, will go such a long way. And I know that it's hard, especially when you're in a room. You can get nervous. I do. I get nervous a lot. But when you can tap into something that you're confident about, talk about something that you're confident about, that will go a long way, because confidence radiates out. It radiates outwards. So if you can, before you go into a situation, whether it's for dating, a mixer, networking, or something like that, tap into those things that you're confident in, that you have a hobby in, that you're an SME in or an expert in. They will want to be around that, because people love confidence. Like I said, it radiates out, it's contagious, and people want to be around confident people. So just think about the things that you're confident in, and that makes you feel confident. And that even goes down to how you dress and how you present yourself. I know that I have personally put myself in situations where I didn't feel confident because I didn't feel comfortable in whatever I was wearing. Clothing, however you present yourself, however you express yourself, is going to help you feel confident. So tapping into the things that make you feel confident, whether it's even a color that you want to wear that makes your eyes stand out or something like that. Something that makes you feel confident is going to make you the most interesting person in the room. And so the final point that I want to make in this video is how you stand. This is so important because it tells people a lot about you. If you notice people that stand in lines and how they stand in a line, that can speak volumes of who they are. And I've also talked about this in a different video about being open. You want to bring people into your space, and you want to give other people permission to come into your space and actually converse with you. So never have your arms crossed like this. And I've been guilty of this so many times, because it's something that, especially when you're nervous, that we just kind of do. But always be open, use your hands, stand with a confident stance, and people want to be around that. And you just look interesting. I mean, that's the point of all of this. You look interesting, and people want to converse with interesting people. People want to align themselves with interesting people. So whether or not you're at a bar or you're at a networking event, you're at a mixer of some sort, remember to stand in a confident stance. And I know this is especially important for men to stand confidently. I know when I've had mixers, when I was a matchmaker and I had mixers, the men that stood confidently are the ones that got the dates. Those are the ones that got the most attention from women. So you want to stand confidently, you want to be open, you want to invite people into your space, and that's going to make you seem like the most interesting person in the room. So that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. I just wanted to share that because I think it's important, especially with my past experience of being a pageant director and actually being a matchmaker as well. I've noticed things that have made people seemingly more interesting than other people. So if you want to stand out, especially if you're trying to meet someone, if you're trying to even when it comes to business, if you're networking, you definitely want to stand out as the most interesting person in the room, because people gravitate towards that. So again, I hope you enjoyed this video. I also want to invite you to check out my free quiz on my website on how to be an empowered feminine. If you're interested in learning how to stand in your power, and if you're in a space where you're trying to get your groove back, if you're trying to level up in your life, I definitely want to invite you to check out my free quiz on my website at ambermarieturner.com. You also can find out more about me on my website as well, and find out more about my book, You Choose Your Outfit. Anyways, you guys, I hope you're having an amazing day, and I will check you guys in the next video. Peace.